Greetings, frostbitten survivors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Frostwardens, Episode 5, Insulating the City. So the plan for the dedicated research lab is to place it here and have it also double as a hospital, closest to where most of the combat takes place, so that if anyone becomes injured, they could be tended to in a proper hospital facility rather than triaged out in the fields. Microelectronics is done, and we need a high-tech research bench to proceed with deep drilling. So in lieu of that, we are going to research advanced lights to be able to deal with how expensive it is to illuminate our illuminator base as we descend deeper into the winter. So, if we put a research bench there, we have a... Actually, maybe I'll do it like this. Some sort of building like that with, because it's small, I'm going to change its build a little bit. I'll put the multi-analyzer there instead. And this will have a multi-analyzer, and then maybe even rotate it. I'm just trying to think it through for making it a multi-purpose facility later on. That doesn't really help me much. If the multi-analyzer goes here, we do have space for at least 2 hospital beds. So this room is like very small, but I think I'm fine with that. Then we'll have the double walls. So I guess what I'm trying to think about is where the doors go in. And maybe I'll have the door in here so that the beds aren't blocked. And then there could be another bed here, just wouldn't, it would have to be like backwards or upside down to benefit from my vitals monitor. Okay. Let's get the building first, and then I'll worry about the internals. Luckily, we've been cutting a lot of limestone for this project. What I mean is, like, the bed would have to... Well, it doesn't really matter. It's not a hospital yet. It's just a research room. And I think the bigger deal here is the power required for a high-tech research bench is... of some consequence, because it's going to be relatively challenging to keep it powered up. And having these constructors that are freezing themselves to the bone, forced inside to warm up. There's also the fear of, if you're hypothermic enough, even if you don't necessarily get badly frostbitten, you still might fail at your construction task as a result of your health conditions. And we don't want that either. We don't want wasted material. So the question about roofing everything up to prevent escaped heat, we could do that. Given the size of the base, it's maybe only ever going to be like degree above ambient, though. So you're not necessarily wrong in your suggestion. I just don't think it's going to make much of a difference at all. Attacking immediately, army of scavengers. So we have Don Fugly. Really? There's 3? And this guy... Prosthetic heart, bloodlust? Okay. Luckily, we've been asleep, so everyone's pretty warmed up for this fight. No pun intended. Fish pick. Inside, please. And there was one that had loot. Yeah, this one has medicine. So, if we had to choose between Fugly and Dawn, Fugly it is. Dawn has a heart blockage and is already about to pass out due to hypothermia, so I don't think it will be much challenge. What kind of weapon do you have? Melee? Okay, this will be easy. Axios. You're on the brink of hypothermia, but I'm going to have you go out there and get us some of the components. Or, medicine, sorry. Whatever it was. And here's the idea of roofing everything up. So one of the reasons I'm getting the advanced lights is so that we can build a floodlight to illuminate the inside of the base so that we don't miss the sun. But actually, behind our walls, it is now colder than ambient. Don't ask me how that's possible. Yeah, it's a few degrees colder than ambient. That's funny. Fish pickles, you don't have to worry about that. Axios, we'll get that. Louie, thank you for the bits. So yes, it is indoors now, fully roofed up, and still colder than ambient. As I sort of suspected, it would not be all that helpful. And if you're wondering about the doors, having 2 doors open isn't making a massive difference in terms of ambient temperature. That isn't like the... That isn't what is breaking the situation. Wouldn't the room be too big? No, it's still a room. It's still registered as a room. There is a possibility in RimWorld, of course, to have room designations be too large to be considered rooms, but that isn't what's happening here. Now, the other question I have is, do we... I think... we don't have access to... No, we do have some access to limestone. So we need a little bit more limestone in order to get this project done. So I'm just going to haul only limestone. So we get the final walls going, and then we can think about flooring it up in the light. So it is 6 degrees warmer than ambient now. It wasn't a terrible idea. So thanks for that. But that isn't steam geyser heat output. If that was the case, it would be a lot warmer. Yeah, there is the case of double walling. Once we have the lab done, I will pull you guys about whether we try to double wall it to try to insulate ourselves a little bit better, and also protects ourselves a little bit more from breachers and sappers having double walls, or alternatively, build our union hall and council hall. Advanced lights are done, and I'm going to continue picking from the non-microelectronics choices. So maybe smithing. Because smithing, of course, leads to machining, which leads to gunsmithing, and leads to gun turrets and gas operation, all the things for self-defense and military. That's kind of a no-brainer. And then in terms of light, I'm going to drop a floodlight there. It's relatively expensive in terms of steel, but not constantly having the I'm in darkness debuff is going to be a benefit, I think. And I like this hued color. It gives it kind of like an artificial sun type feel to it. And we're not going to do the Pilgrim Festival. So if you're wondering about that, the Pilgrims on the 1st of winter have a Pilgrim Festival. But we don't have a Union Hall altar. We don't have a leader. We don't even really have a ritual spot. So we'll be skipping this year. Yeah, it's colder than ambient now. Ooh, get warm. Alright, the walls for this are done. Before I start building the multi-analyzer, or the high-tech research bench, I'm gonna want actually we have a lot of slate, so I'm gonna get floors in there. And drop a heater in there too. Probably given the size, one heater might be enough. It doesn't need to necessarily negate the bad temperature penalties. It's mostly just to keep whoever's in there from legit freezing to death. I have 0 silver. Silver is not the world's currency anymore in this series. Hence the not trading with other factions. Basically, there is no common currency. It is a eat or be eaten type of situation. Blood is the currency? Yeah, blood and labor. Blood, sweat, and tears, right? Well, we are 1st of winter. It's maybe not the coldest time of the night, but we were down to about negative 83 Celsius at trough. I guess I would call it peak, but it's cold, so that's not really a saying, but I'm going to use it. At trough temperature. And it's staying not deathly cold in here, so that's good. We can do some research. And I suspect the more we open and close the door, the colder it gets, so putting the tiles in was expensive in its own way. You are too cold to do that. Oh, actually, you know what? I think this is now warm enough to negate hypothermia. All right, Nabla. That's excellent stool. Oh, that's nice. So we'll have a spare excellent stool. It is time to switch production buildings. So the research speed here, even given its cold factor, I think is faster than the other zone. But I'm going to abandon smithing and start going to deep drilling and ground pen scanning. And now we have all this lovely room in the top right to perhaps stretch your legs a little. We just have to keep a close eye on our battery power because the research bench does drain, as does the heater, in fact. And to that end, I think I'm going to spend a component for a switch, and you'll understand why soon. It relates to one of the mods I have installed. Is there a reason I don't double wall into the top of my research room? I could, no, there wasn't a good reason. So I don't know. We'll have to track power cycling. But I want to keep an eye on how much power we use in a given day to see if we're netting power or losing it. Because I'll have to adjust power usage if we're losing power. Yeah, I really like the portraits mods too. They're great. They don't really work when you have like a lot of custom species and the like. Or custom armor that doesn't fit right. But because this series is super vanilla, I'm not even using any DLCs. It's obviously a lot cheaper to, or a lot easier to run them. Okay, so I have a mod that allows me, once microelectronics is researched, to be able to remote toggle switches, which is a benefit of the microelectronics. So I put this on a power switch so that if the research bench and heater aren't in use, I just turn them off. So the room isn't always heated all the time. I don't want to lose fingers, So abandon. I think at this point in the winter, we're getting to a point where I need to severely restrict mobility. We're getting too cold going too far out. Basically, we're not hauling anything anymore. It's too dangerous. Pretty soon we'll have deep drilling, and once we have deep drilling, we can drill up the stone locally. And that way we don't have to go venturing into the numbing cold for building materials. Question for you all. Vote for the next construction project. Double-layered walls, or stalwarts council hall. Originally, we had voted that the stalwarts council hall would be built before the pilgrims, but Nabla used her influence to transition that project over into research. So the Pilgrims Union Hall is now a contender once again. There you go. Pretty simple poll. Oops. And I'm just going to give you 1 minute to vote on that. As far as double-loaded worlds go, we are about 3 degrees above ambient within the base. So that's certainly not much. And we don't have an excessive amount of power to like heat up the internal area. Not yet, at least. That might change given time. So it seems the measure is going to pass, and the double-layered walls is going to win. We'll call that early. Measure passed. So in some cases, it's going to look a little weird. But, yeah, this is what double-layered walls look like. The total cost is 80. It's not terrible. So 400 blocks in order to double-layer the walls, and we already have about half the material available to us. Yeah, considering the amount of raids that we've had, double layering the walls is absolutely an additional layer of defenses, too. For sure. Because Fish Pickles is already suffering frostbite, I'm going to micromanage him a little bit to make sure he doesn't succumb to any injuries. Another thing that would be useful, now that we have the entire inside of our base roofed up, is to shovel up all the snow. Because snow makes it slow to travel. Some of the sections are still unroofed, but I think I'm going to shovel them all the same. because we can also roof up these areas, because thick snow sucks to walk in. Okay, good. His frostbite has healed. So a little note about frostbite is obviously it's going to affect your extremities, nose, toes, fingers, ears, and generally the first thing that you have to get frostbitten twice in the same spot in order to like lose that thing. So when you have a deeply frostbitten nose, if it gets frostbitten twice in a row, that's when you no longer have a nose. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. So if anyone gets frostbitten, I'm going to micromanage them so that they stay warm and keep that part of their body protected so that they don't lose it. Because I don't think our founders want to become disfigured, in other words. And Nabla assures us that she will have a solution for the limited amount of limestone that we have available to us. But for now, we'll venture a little bit out of our comfort zone just to get the limestone that lies barely beyond reach so that we can get the double layered walls done. As long as I'm, as steward, as long as I'm very watchful of their health conditions, not to creep up into the dangerous levels of hypothermia. I do think keeping the high-tech research bench on all the time is a bit of a higher level of drain on our power than I thought, which means we might need to cycle between taking high-tech research bench and low-tech research bench research projects so that our batteries can be backfilled. I'm also gonna have one big huddled mass for body heat reasons, not polygamy reasons, if that's where your mind went. So as far as the external walls go, it's about half done. And it is a good 8 degrees warmer behind the walls, which helps a bit. Definitely helps a bit. Here we go. Another harvest. I think we're getting to a point of decent food security. And our batteries have bounced back a little bit, so we'll have to stagger using the high-tech research bench, or alternatively phase out a hydroponic bench, maybe. But yeah, trying to strike up a very careful balance with our power usage so that we're not overdrying the batteries and running out of power. There's even the floodlight, potentially. Well, for now, I want to keep that on. Okay, Prime Army. Unusually clever and avoiding traps and turrets. We've got... They're pod dropping in. So, some pretty close east, and they're attacking immediately, and then the second group is the south. I'm going to pull everyone back into the base and get ready for this. So schedule warm. And I think for the warm, I'm not going to include the research room anymore because it's not always on. So it's not reliably warm. So Nabla is the only one with hypothermia, so I'm going to have her hang back as the others muster. What is the settlement's tech priority right now? The tech priority is deep drilling. Some of them are already shivering. Yeah, some of these pirates are like poor. There's a lot of them though. We are dramatically outnumbered here. All right, let's muster. I think most of the hypothermia is gone. And they're trying to break in. Fish Pickles, I'm going to have you break from the fence and close our resource stockpile's door. We'll just have to cherry pick targets to make sure that we're firing on those that pose the most threat. Trying to send the first group packing. Done. Second group. We've got machine pistol, revolver, machine pistol. The frag grenades, probably the most threatening of the group. And Jambo is a bit neutralized. Good. Alright, everyone's going after fragnades. Fish Pickles is going to support Axios. Done. The one rushing the walls. It's going to be next target. Have these guys fall back. Yeah, that was the right call. And this is why I kept these two rooms separate. Because they're trying to pursue me where they can't actually path to me. Alright, they're fleeing. Checking to make sure... Yep, nothing of value is going to be... They're going to be able to flee with. So now I'm going to go back into warm. And recover. Oh, they're trying to break doors, though. Fish Pickles, how are you? Okay, Axios. Let's have you deal with that. And nobody is assigned actual medicine yet. What is your temperature? Shivering 20? You're about to be minor, so get inside. Yeah. I don't think really... Oh, this guy's dropping a whole bunch of medicine. But basically, none of them survived. Don't besiege a bunker in the middle of the winter. It is not it's not tactically sound. Nice. 50 meals. Like that. Axios. I'm going to have you haul bodies, because nobody else wants to. I'm gonna leave the ore there. OAR, in case you didn't see, not ORE. Wow, okay. It'd be like that. More frag grenades, old school frag grenades, and biocoded weapons. Alright, everyone get warm. Army of scavengers are worth capturing and releasing. For reference. Nobla, you are a little hypothermic. Who is the least hypothermic? Zeusin? Alright, Zeusin, get to the lines, because someone needs to be a valid target for them to attack. And these guys are attacking immediately, but not breaching. Because breaches, of course, are hard to deal with. Okay, here we go. Even more of them. Unfortunately, Axios didn't have time to remove the bodies, so we do have a situation where, of course, it's like ugly to be around. Ooh, he was loaded. Alright, let's go after fragnades. Wow, they went down quick. Dangerous guns first. Where'd the other frag grenadier go? One down. Oh, was it the one in front? Yeah, okay. I think he was in front. Any resources we need to be made aware of? No, 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 no. No. Alright, let's get warm. It is so cold out there. Fish Pickles was like, just holler if you need me. I'm cold. He had the right idea. Now, there was a possibility of capture and release, but I was a little worried about our guys suffering from hypothermia if we attempted that. So I chose not to capture and release. In terms of the doubly insulated walls, we're maybe like 2/3 done. Something like that. Yeah. Or 5/8. Oh my god, you guys don't let up! What I'm doing here is just scanning for, like, their gear. So, for instance, this guy who's barely wearing clothing is going to freeze, like, well before he even makes it to our walls. Just to figure out how truly dangerous the group is, and also whether or not they have any weapons that are frightening, right? Weapons of like breach type weapons. So this is yet another attacking immediately. Randy is just like, hey, you want blood? Yeah, look at this. Raid. Yeah, no kidding. Bloodthirsty maniac. All right, Nabla, you have no hypothermia. Let's get you out there. More meds incoming? Yeah, I know. Wave survival. That's what this is turning into. I don't really want to get shot by pump shotgun, but pump shotguns don't have good range, so at least there's that. Let's go after Miss Pump first. There we go. Deathly Structure Riches, an ancient complex. Not too far away, but we would freeze to death and die if we tried. So those that have... Dweeb is the one we want most because he's bearing medicine. And Sora if we want tea. Everyone get warm again. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch, January 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patron, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors.